Alright, so originally I was going to do another Telecreations Blu-ray collection video, but there are way too many Blu-rays to go through now since last time I made it about a year ago. I've purchased about maybe 200 more Blu-rays, probably more than that, so yeah, I'm not really going to put anyone through all that. There's like a consistent amount of hours worth just to detail all the films I have. So instead I figured, alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through TV series and Blu-ray, well, TV series and movies that I have on DVD and Blu-ray, or that we have in this house, because we've now moved and we have a whole theatre room, so all dedicated to movies and TV. With, of course, that TV in the background and everything. So I'm going to show you all just a good variation of kind of films that I really, really like, for whatever reasons. I mean, I appreciate a lot more of the films that I have in this collection, but some I really, really just like that bit more. Some I might have on Blu-ray, some on 4K, some Criterion, some DVD. We got them at different times over the past decade and a half or whatever. Like we have, for example, Terminator 2 Judgment Day on DVD instead of having it on Blu-ray or 4K, yet I still plan to at some stage getting it on that higher quality kind of thing. So yeah, so probably a two-parter, firstly to go through the Blu-rays, secondly to go through the DVDs, but just because the DVDs doesn't mean they're lackluster in quality or something. Like, it's just because, oh, the DVDs just because I like them, but like, I only bothered to get them on DVD. No, I only got them on DVD, or my dad, being the person who bought the majority of the DVDs, only got them on DVD because Blu-ray didn't exist then. So, yeah, let's take a look. So, of course, a lot of them are sticking out like this, so I know which ones to collect from. I'm going to go in alphabetical order from the shelf. That's going to be confusing for some people because some are in collections for different directors. I haven't seen all the films in this whole bank of Blu-rays and DVDs, so these are the ones that I've grown up with, the ones that I've appreciated the most over time that I've seen. Like, some I could have just heard a lot about and just been like, oh, I really like this film because of what I've heard, but like, if I haven't seen it, then what the hell's the point? It doesn't help you at all. It's also to explain kind of what stuff I get inspired by and what stuff I just really like to watch and whatever. So yeah, I'll kind of give a small review on the films or what films I particularly like of whatever. Because particularly for the first one, we're going to go with just DVDs for now, for Blu-rays for now. Next video will be DVDs, and the final video will be box sets, only because they're kind of a different collection of stuff, even though some of them are DVD, some of them are Blu-ray. Anyway, moving on. So first up we have Alien Anthology. Don't really care much for the cover art, I must admit, but I love the first two Alien films, particularly Alien. It's this collection as it is has the special editions of all four films, Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, and Alien Resurrection. I don't much care for Alien Resurrection, but I still find it just entertaining as a popcorn film. I don't consider it a legit Alien film like Alien vs. Predator isn't, but it's just a popcorn film. Alien 3 is questionable in quality. I like elements of it, I hate other elements of it. Yeah, this and that. But I won't get into that. I love Aliens, but I actually and I love its special edition the most, which is one film that I grew up with. I grew up with all these films as a child. This scared the crap out of me, so it's a good way to start off this video, going through films that horrified me as a child. But Alien is actually my favourite of these films. Alien is one of my top 10 films. I think it's actually better than Aliens because it's just, I just look at Alien as a better film than Aliens. Because they're two different genres, yes, but I really appreciate horror more sometimes than just action films. There's so much about Aliens that's just, I know, very memorable and whatever, like, you know, game over, man, like a lot of quotes and stuff and set pieces and all this kind of stuff with the alien, the queen alien, all kinds of stuff, but it's just, and Cameron did a good job of making a film out of, a sequel out of the original Alien, but I just have to admit, I just love Alien more. Oh, I missed one actually. So again, I'm going to be getting films also from my shelf that I'd forgotten to pick up. Akira as well. A beautiful animated film, great anime. You've probably seen this in my previous collection video. on my, you know, my collection video from last time. I also do like the Alien sequels post thing. The Prometheus I don't mind. I quite like it actually, just as a sci-fi film, not really as an alien film. And I really like Alien Covenant because it's just a bunch of people getting murdered by an alien. It's just a mad scientist film. It's a mad scientist film. I love it. I grew up with, like, you know, like Frankenstein and shit. I just love that kind of stuff. Skipping over documentaries. Blade Runner, the final cut. I don't really like how many bloody editions there are of this film. I at one stage aimed to buy every single edition of the film, in a whole collector's set, but then I vouched just for going for the final cut on Blu-ray with the Dangerous Days documentary. I was going to get the 4K now that I can actually watch 4Ks, but decided against it in the end. Mostly because I bought this before I got the actual, before I got my 4K TV, so I did not expect that I don't really care to get on 4K anyway. I've seen it on 4K though, it's quite good. Blazing Saddles. I do also have a Mel Brooks collection, but Blazing Saddles is my favourite. Oh, yeah, I think it's my favourite Mel Brooks film. I've got another one down here. Spaceballs, that I really like as well. I think they're both great films. So this is easily what I believe to be John Carpenter's best film. I do have Escape New York. It's a collector's edition film, but I prefer The Thing. I'm getting a better version of this coming in the mail soon. It's got a whole 4K remaster and everything. It's not a 4K version. Well, it's not like 4K in the black box kind of 4K, but it's a special edition of the film, and I'm keen as shit to get it. But yeah, no, I love The Thing. I mean, it took me till, what, 2017 to actually watch this? It says a lot. As that's how scary I thought the film was going to be. I think it's just a masterpiece level of a film. I personally love a lot of John Carpenter films, with Escape New York again being one of them that I really like. But I actually, I actually really like Big Trouble in Little China. It's my second favourite Kurt Russell performance behind The Thing. I love it. It's great. Carrie. This is the Arrow Video 4K remaster. Watched this film just the other day for the second time because I watched it a few years back. It's probably my favourite Stephen King adaptation that's more accurate to the adaptation. I said it specifically because there's another film that I really, really like, but this is my favourite Stephen King film. My favourite Universal monster movie, Creature from the Black Lagoon. I do really like Bride of Frankenstein, but I don't have that on Blu-ray. I have it on DVD instead, only because it was in a Frankenstein collection, and, you know, sometimes you don't really need the Blu-rays of the films. I just want to get it on Blu-ray instead. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon on 4K. It is a beautiful film. Probably one of my favourite of these martial arts films. And I love action films. This year, for me, 2018, has been the year of action films and horror films in terms of buying and watching. And I'm just loving both genres a lot. Oh, easily my favourite Del Toro film, Pan's Labyrinth. Really good. Die Hard on 4K, because they released it on 4K from the original negative, and it's amazing. I watched it the other night. I love it. I mean, I've been watching this film since I was a kid. I love it so much. Alright, so now we're going to... We have a Disney collection. So Del Toro is a Del Toro collection, hence why Pan's Labyrinth is so early on in the mix. Same as Carpenter, that's also a collection. Then we've got Disney, and one of my favourites, Aladdin. I mean, it's fucking Aladdin. You don't think it's good? What's wrong with you? Alice in Wonderland, a beautifully trippy film. I really like this edition of it as well. Very nice. I had to get it on 4K because I didn't have it on Blu-ray yet. I didn't have the DVD, and the second one, of course, came out, and I'm like, oh, I really, really like the first one. So I got the 4K of it. It's wonderful. I love it. I think it kind of is my favorite Brad Bird film. I don't know. He has a lot of good films that I really like. My favorite Sergio Leone film, which is categorized in the Dollars trilogy, as we have a Fistful of Dollars and a few dollars more. Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Saw the 4K of this in cinema recently with my dad. It's a beautiful film. Probably my favorite Western. Definitely my favorite Clint Eastwood film. We have a plenitude of Clint Eastwood films, including two box sets. We got 2 box sets for Clint Eastwood. He's done a lot of films. I have to mention this one just because I just love this film. I mean, Nicholas Winding Refn is a very interesting director, and I really love Ryan Gosling, pretty obviously, because acts. He's just great, and this is a great film with a great cast, and it's just an excellent film. I definitely suggest it if you haven't seen it. I'm very much one for surrealism, and really just like the mastercraft that is film, and so this is probably one of my favorites in terms of Criterion's 8.5. It's just a very interesting film. I definitely suggest it if you get the chance to. It's a long film, it's 138 minutes, but it's really good. Just because I really like Vincent Price, I want to point out this, The Abominable Dr. Phibes. I do have Dr. Phibes Rise Again, also on Blu-ray, the cult cinema, because that's how JB advertises it now. But I love this film, and I love Vincent Price, he's great. I think this is my favourite film, which is saying something. It's definitely my top 10, it's definitely my top 5, it's probably my number 1 film of all time, Evil Dead 2. I adore it. I really do. It's my favourite film, my favourite Sam Raimi film. I've seen every single Evil Dead film. I have a whole Evil Dead category here that's just Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2. I've even got... I mean, outside of Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 1 and 2, which I'm going to get Season 3 when it comes out just because I'm a completionist. I do like the show. It has its bad sides, yes, especially the 3rd season, but I still like it. I haven't seen the Evil Dead remake. That's something I don't really care to see at all, actually. But I've got this as well. This is actually, it's a DVD case, but it's the Ultimate Collection of Army of Darkness, which I still like Army of Darkness quite a lot. Prefer to the original Evil Dead, that's for sure. And this has like 5 cuts of the film. No, it's got 5 discs, which is the director's cut on DVD and Blu-ray, the theatrical cut on DVD and Blu-ray, and the television version on DVD. I've seen both Blu-rays of it, the theatrical and director's. I don't know which one I prefer, they're both really good. I think the director's one, just because it adds that little bit of length, I just really like it just because of that. But, I mean, it only uses that extra length at the end of the film to make sense of Ash's decision at the end of the film, so, you know. I say decision, I mean mistake. I very much like foreign films. I grew up watching a whole bunch of different ones. This one I got really quite recently, like by recently I mean late 2017. It's probably my favourite Japanese film. House. Of course it's just called House. It's a 1977 film, which has some great films in 1977. 3 of my favourite films. Some of my favourite films came out in 1977. Maybe 4. My favorite films, but this is in my like top number of films. It's just beautifully bizarre, and I only watched it because Sardonicast, a podcast I watch every now and then with that has a group of YouTubers that I like to watch, recommended this and did a discussion about it. I love this film. It's great. Of course, it is Criterion. I'm not going to go into detail about how there's region A and B and C and stuff like that. I have a region A player, so I can watch it. Cost me a lot of money, but it's worth it. Dr. Strangelove, my second favourite Kubrick film. I love 2001, yes, and I'm yet to get that. I would show that now, but I'm going to get the 4K when it comes out in October. Or August, I think it's October. But yeah, I love this film. It's one of my favourites, one of the first ones I watched of his. But I have a whole collection of his. If you want me to go into details on my director's collections, I probably will in a later video, just when I've got some more complete, I will go into detail as to what collections I have for certain directors. Probably my favourite film from Stephen King, so you know how I mentioned Carrie and how I said that it was my favourite Stephen King film? This is, of course, a Stephen King film because it's based on one of his novel, but because I count it so much more as a Kubrick film, and I think Stephen King does as well, it's my favourite Kubrick film. I love Clockwork Orange, I love a lot of his films, but this is my favourite of his films. So, take that as you will. Also, don't get scared by it. I do want to mention as well that I do quite like Steven Spielberg as a director. I have quite a fair few of his films, quite a whole collection of his films actually in here, but oddly none of them are my favourites. Interesting, isn't it? I mean, I do have E.T. and Close Encounters on 4K, but that's like, just because. Alright, my favourite Yorgos Lanthimos film, The Lobster. Really like his other films, and keen to see his next film. Logan as well. This was actually my first 4K purchase, I believe. Maybe my second 4K purchase, but it's my favourite Hugh Jackman performance. I really have a lot of films. So yeah, compared to this is like my second favourite film of all time, it is quite interesting that a lot of good films came out in 1977. This is my second of 4 films I'm going to talk about from 1977. Eraserhead. This is the Criterion version of it. It's David Lynch's first feature film and is my favourite David Lynch film. I quite like... I mean, he is my favourite director. I love all of his films. Not Dune, really. I'll get Dune eventually, to be honest, just because I want to complete his collection. But there are 2 other films of his. Okay, hold on a second. Mulholland Drive, because it's just like, that disc. Love it. Inland Empire, it's a very interesting film. Very interesting. Oddly very inspirational for me. I've got a lot of films in mind because of it. And of course, Twin Peaks. TV series and movie in this collection. This comes with the original series plus Fire Walk With Me and The Missing Pieces. I really like Fire Walk With Me as well. I love all of this. I especially love this. It's Lynch's best work. So, now we're into the M selection, and I have Mad Max Fury Road. I do have the 4K. I have the Blu-ray as well, actually, because I bought that a while ago. I have all the Mad Max films. I love this series. It's very interesting. I love the original 3 because of how Aussie they are. The third one gets a bit too American, a bit too, well, it's a bit bizarre. Let's put it that way. But I love this one. One of the greatest action films I've ever seen. I do like 4K. It's quite a good format. Wow, this is shiny. It's Avengers. This is in my Marvel collection because I've actually got a section that's just for Marvel. That is the MCU Marvel, not anything else Marvel, because I don't think I have anything else Marvel for that. I do have the actual DVD set that has like the first, like, all the ones leading up to the Avengers, plus the Avengers. It's an interesting set. Mostly just listed that one because it's an iconic film and I really like it. And I still remember watching it in theatre. It wasn't that long ago. I will get an Infinity War in 4K when it comes out. Cool. Next up is my favourite Marvel film, Thor Ragnarok. Don't ask me why we got the 3D version. It comes with the Blu-ray anyway. I'm planning on getting this in 4K at some stage, but I don't care to at the moment. But I love this film. It is just fucking great. And I love the director, Taika Waititi. One of my favourite directors. I have all of his films so far. Amazing. Next up, we have The Matrix on 4K because it's an amazing film. Oh, shit, yeah, man. 2 films I really want to just point out there because I absolutely adore them. John Wick and John Wick Chapter 2. Both on Blu-ray. No 4K or anything like that, but they're exceptional films. Next up, we have quite a classic. It's Metropolis. Yeah, and Rexy moaning because no one's playing with him. Hey Rex, do you want to come in? Rex? Huh? Yeah, this isn't actually mine, it's my dad's, but it's the latest version of the film. I think it's from 2010 or something, but it's all restored and remastered and everything. It's got the Blu-ray and booklet, and it came with a big ass poster. So yeah, it comes with, obviously, the Blu-ray and everything. It's an exceptional film. So, probably my actual favourite Brad Bird film, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. I fucking love this film. It is just, I love the Mission Impossible films, and this is just an exceptional film. And yes, I got the Blu-ray re-release because, I didn't actually have the 4K re-release because I didn't have the Blu-ray of it. That being said, I do have the Blu-ray of Rogue Nation, which I also think is an exceptional film. Keen for the next one. This is probably my favourite TV show on television right now is my favorite TV show, probably of all time, or at least in my top 5 is Twin Peaks. This is in my top 5 TV shows of all time as well. Mr. Robot, which I've shown this one in the previous video. I've also got Season 2 as well on Blu-ray, and Season 3 on Blu-ray because it's just an exceptional show. Oh, almost done the Blu-rays. Whoopee. Alright, now into my Nolan collection, which is right at the very front here. We have, firstly, The Dark Knight on 4K. I do have the box set for the Dark Knight trilogy, which is in the landscape, which I hate the landscape box set. That's a gift set. But I love the trilogy. This is my favourite of them, of course, because it's The Dark Knight. And the 4K is exceptional. My favourite actual Nolan film, though, Interstellar. Got this on 4K, already had it on Blu-ray. I just had to get it on 4K because it's a stunning film. I love the soundtrack. Lastly for Nolan, we have Dunkirk on 4K because it's just like one of the best films ever made. Still not my favorite Nolan film, surprisingly. I do have a lot of his films though. The only one I really want to get is Memento, which is really hard to get these days, which is really annoying. Next up we have Paprika on Blu-ray. I love this film. It's just everything an animation, everything I've wanted from an animation in my life. It goes visually stunning creativity on its animation. You've got dreams stuff, and you've got like crime as well. It's just such a beautiful mixture, and pop culture references. It's great. I do have Perfect Blue and Tokyo Godfathers as well on Blu-ray, but I am yet to actually watch them. I may have them, but doesn't mean I have enough time to watch them, which is more disappointing than it sounds. Next up is a double collection, probably 2 of the best action films I've ever seen, which I call them very comparative to John Wick, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, and I love John Wick, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. The Raid 1 and 2, just 2 of the best films in action I've ever seen, especially The Raid 2, just exceptional. And a really good story too, like, really good. Now we've got 2 classics. One which is beautifully remastered on Blu-ray, which is RoboCop. If you're going to get it, I mean, I even had the option of getting this version, which is even called the Director's Cut. I don't give a crap about that. But it's newly remastered. It is an exceptional cut. I think it might be from the original 4K. I don't know, but it is gorgeous. And I had either the option of getting this, or for $20, or like the free film collection for $20. But the free film collection didn't have this remastered version of RoboCop, which disappointed me. So I'm like, alright, I'm going to only get RoboCop the original, because at least I know that's the best one. And also, really good bloody remaster and good film as it is Rocky, one of the fucking all-time greats. If this does actually intrigue you to going through all my current Blu-rays, then I might do that at some stage, but I probably won't, because there are so many, and it takes a lot of time to film it, then to edit it. I don't have that much free time on my hands. Shin Godzilla. Mainly just as a combination of, I love Godzilla films. I have the majority of them on DVD. This is the only one I have on Blu-ray, because it's the only one you can actually get on Blu-ray. I love Shin Godzilla. It is just, it's epic with the, disaster stuff, with the Godzilla as a monster. It is one of my favorite, it is my favorite movie monster, next to the creature from Black Lagoon. And this version is just exceptional. I don't mind the American one from 1998. I think it's okay. No, I'm kidding. The 2014 one is interesting. I'm interested to see the sequels though, because I really like King Kong Skull Island. Kong Skull Island, which I do have the Blu-ray here as well, but I don't think it's one really worth showcasing. No, I do have the steel case, and the steel case is amazing. That's a really cool cover. I hate the flappy steel case nature of it all, but it's a really cool cover. And yes, to point it out, we do have the original King Kong remastered with the booklet and everything. It's a beautiful fucking film, but it's just top. I keep looking at Jaws. I'm like, I want to just show that and be like, look, I got Jaws. It's all remastered and everything. It's like, I don't know I don't know what my favorite Spielberg film is. That's something I really got to look at. What is my favorite Steven Spielberg film? Next up is my 3rd film from 1977. I'll make it pretty obvious now. My 4th one is Star Wars: A New Hope, which is my favorite Star Wars film, and I will show you that in my box set collection later. Suspiria. This is the collector's edition version, 4K remaster. It is a beautiful film, and it is. I really like it. I mean, it's in some of my top horror films of all time. And I'm really digging horror films this year. I know a lot of people don't actually like this. This even comes with like the 2 discs, the alternate cover and everything. A lot of people don't like this film. I don't know why. I'm interested to see the remake just because I like the director. Yeah, no, I really, really like this film. I think it's beautifully bizarre. Oh, and yeah, it's an American case, so it's small. It's thin as shit. Swiss Army Man, one of my favourite films of all time. It's just beautiful. It's wonderful. Of course, we got to go Tarantino because I have a Tarantino section. So probably my favorite one is Pulp Fiction. I mean, it's obviously going to be my favorite one. Like, I just love this film. I mean, it was the film I chose to watch on my 18th birthday. I don't really care about numbers and letters and stuff, especially with birthdays. But like, of a film to watch, it goes for 3 hours, and I love every moment of it. But my second favorite Tarantino film is Kill Bill. I can't volume 1, volume 2 as a whole film. Next up, we have probably my favorite Scorsese film, Taxi Driver. It's beautifully dark, horrid, and just overall amazing. It's a really good film and a great performance from De Niro. One of my favorites. I really like art house. Really, really like art house. If that wasn't obvious from my taste in favorite films, so many of them being David Lynch films. Under the Skin. It's just a beautiful film. I really, really like it. Really. Talking about some of my favorite films of all time. This is in my top 5. It's one of my favorite new directors who's done. Just all of his films are amazing. And he's done one a year now. I don't know if he's releasing anything in 2018, but I know that 2017 was the year of Blade Runner 2049. Yes, I have the 4K. It's an exceptional film. It is better than the original. It is just a beautiful, epic everything. It's amazing. I feel like this is kind of bad of me that I haven't actually opened this out of its plastic yet. I can now put unboxing the tags, because look, I'm unboxing it. Jesus Christ. Fresh out of its plastic, and now it's broken. No. Wake and Fright. My favourite Aussie film. I've actually watched this only maybe twice now. I watched it in film class, and I love it. I love it a lot. It is interestingly Australian and very it's just pure insanity. It's great. Okay, so this one isn't easy, and this is the Lucky Last for Blu-ray. I've got 5 films in my hand right now. I love all of them. I love easily Shaun of the Dead the most. It's got slipcase and everything. It's one of my favourite films. My first Edgar Wright film, and will never be my last, because of course I have Hot Fuzz, also in a special slipcase. I got them both from like one of my birthdays, a couple of years after they came out. Just because I remember Dad getting Sam and Noah and myself out of our bedrooms, and he's like, "Oh, tape was a really great film last night. You'll really like it. It's a zombie film, but it's a comedy as well." And me not being good with horror, like I grew up with Alien and shit like that, and like I was not good with horror. I'm like, alright, fine, I'll watch it. And it's one of the best things I've ever seen. I consistently rewatch it because it's in my top 5 favorite films. I consistently rewatch it because it's so good. And I love Hot Fuzz as well. A lot of people say it's arguable as to which one's the best of the trilogy. Unfortunately, not a slipcase. But I still really like all 3 of them. I know a lot of people, even my dad doesn't say that this one is so good. But like, there's so many arguments as to which one's great, which one's not great, which one's the best, which one's the worst. Honestly, my second favourite Edgar Wright film is actually Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, because I love the comics, I love the characters, and I love this film. It is adorable. It is it's amazing. And of course, his most recent, Baby Driver. Shit, blur out the face so I don't get whatever on YouTube. I love all these films. They're just amazing films. And he's one of the best, if not the best, writer-director right now that I've seen outside of probably like Nolan. I mean, they both just consistently blow it out of the park. I mean, David Lynch is still alive, but he doesn't really make anything now. He's only on Twin Peaks. Yeah, so, that is a handful of my Blu-rays that are not box sets or DVDs. They're some of my favorite TV shows and, movies. If you have, like, I don't really like the top 10 listed, even though I have mentioned a lot in this video, saying, oh, these are my top 10 favorite videos, because it's like, if someone would ask me what my top 10 would be, I'm like, it's pretty much this, and it's a whole mixture. You've got stuff that's art house, you've got stuff that's like popcorn flicks, you've got stuff that's incredible horror, all kinds of stuff. Like, I like a whole range of genres, that's for sure. This year right now has been action horror year. Not action horror like combined, but like action and horror as two separate genres. I'm looking through so many different films and I'm loving a lot of them. Yeah. It's fun. So, I hope you have enjoyed this video thing. Again, this isn't for me like to brag about like, oh, look at how many films I have or whatever. It's only just a thing of like, I like talking about what kind of taste in films I have, and originally the idea for the, like, alphabetized videos was meant to be like, hey, look, this is all the films I own, but I'm like, that's like, just like, A, shoving in your face a lot, but also, there is a lot of films, and it doesn't, like, it becomes such a mix of films, it's like, well, this guy just likes everything then. It's like, yeah, well, here are my favorite films, so you know which ones I like the most. Not reasons why I like them the most, but they've all inspired me or just entertained me consistently and whatever. Of course, I will continue to buy films on Blu-ray and 4K Criterion, all kinds of stuff. I mean, I've got special editions of all kinds of films. That I've got my eye on, or some that are coming in the mail, like I said, The Thing, it's 4K remaster, and they're just, it's amazing films. So yeah, next time we'll explore DVDs, that's both I think some TV shows, yeah, and, films, and, then we can get into box sets. I'll be very minimal on the box sets, just to be like, hey, these are just some of my actual other favorite films that just happen to be in box sets right now. Yeah. Or realistically, my favorite box sets. Can't really decide on that. Anyway, see you next time. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe for more, because this is YouTube. Of course, I forget that too sometimes. Yeah, cool. Bye. Shit, now I've got to pull these away.